All right, so boom. Man, this year's crop of freestyles was something else. We got mid rappers using auto-tune as if that's going to make them unmid. We got female rappers lying saying they're a household name when nobody outside their hometown knows who they are. We got garbage rappers going on social media talking about my XXL freestyle was trash and I don't care, weeks before their freestyle even came out. We got a lot to talk about for this year. So,
let's go.
Now, I'm gonna keep it real. When I watched the freestyles trailer, I had low expectations for this entire class. I wasn't expecting to be blown away by anyone. Everyone either sounded garbage or just okay. The best XXL freshman of all time, Forbats, decided not to do a freestyle, so we're left with 10 of them. And unfortunately, not even 10, because for some reason, Hunxho's freestyle didn't get uploaded. They posted his ABCs video on that day, but the freestyle was never released, so it is what it is. Y'all comment down below who y'all think had the worst freestyle and the best one, and let me show y'all what my ranking is. Easily at the bottom of the list is Trash Container. There's not even a lot to say about this weak ass performance. If you watched all 9 freestyles, how do you not have this man in last place? For one, I don't know if y'all be hearing this too, but Trash Container talks like he's always chewing something. He's always breathing really heavily and sucking his teeth. It's kind of disgusting just hearing him speak. And that's how it sounds hearing this verse. The whole time he's just, I'm at the official, I handle my business, I must let's get it. I must let's get it. I must let's get it. Dude was just mumbling the whole damn time, calling everything slizzy and slap. Slap. My bitch ain't Mac, but I'm able. My bitch is a Mac, but she's slitting. She's slitting. Even the ending was dumb. He just went, bitch, ooh, damn, slap, ooh. This wasn't even bad to the point where it was funny. I just seen this and went, okay, I already knew you was gonna be garbage before this freestyle even started, man. To all of the people who say they are disappointed in Trash's freestyle, I don't know why you're disappointed, because why were you expecting him to do a good job? Do y'all not listen to this man's music? His strength is being a producer. His beats are just fine, but as a rapper, he absolutely sucks. And he's even aware of that. Let me just go ahead and break this down to y'all right now. Trash Container does not give a single fuck about being an XXL freshman this year. There has been a few things this man has done that showed me him being a freshman really doesn't mean that much to him. For one, this was who I was referring to in the intro when I said we got trash rappers going on social media talking about my freestyle is trash. The day after the freestyle trailer dropped, not when his freestyle got uploaded, oh no. The day after the trailer came out, this man took to Twitter and said, my XXL freestyle is trash and I don't give a fuck. And of course, people were responding to him, flaming him, and a lot of people, he just kept responding by saying, I got more bitches than you though. I got more money than you though. Y'all need to get off my dick, man. I went to this man's page and all I saw was him responding to hate tweets, which searching up his own name in order to respond to hate comments is something Trash Container actually admitted to doing. So yeah, everybody watching this video, I'm telling you right now, you don't even have to tag him. If you make a general tweet about Trash Container, he's going to see it the same day and say, get off my dick. He's one of those lame ass dudes that responds, I got more hoes than you to everything a person says. The second thing I wanted to show y'all was when he was on Bootleg Kev's podcast. Kev has interviewed damn near everybody on this year's cover at some point, and he asked Trash a simple question. So how do you feel about being a freshman this year? Because I feel like, you know, a lot of up and coming artists, that's one of their biggest goals, to make it to XXL. So how does that feel for you to scratch that off your bucket list? Typically when someone gets asked this question, they say stuff like, and it just certifies that I'm one of the people that's next up, man. You know, people tapping in, people rocking with me. So now that I got that XXL cosign, it's time for me to go even crazier. This man didn't say anything like that. Listen to this dude's response.
How big of a deal is that for you to like knock that off the bucket list? I feel like every new artist you get on that freshman cover, it can change the trajectory of your career, you know?
You know, it's XXL freshman class, you know? Everybody want to be on there.
For sure, brother.
That was such a disinterested answer. How do you feel about being a freshman, man? You know, to a lot of people, that's a big thing. Hey, man, you know, hey, you know, it's XXL, it's cool. The final thing I'm gonna show y'all, and y'all really have to listen to this. is when Trash Container did an interview with Angela Yee on her Way Up radio show. This was the day after he made the post on his Twitter that his freestyle was trash. So Container was on here apologizing like, I'm sorry y'all, I'm sorry XXL, I'm sorry hip hop. Rapping, freestyling is not my thing. You know, I just like to go into the studio and have fun making music. I'm not a rapper. Angela asked, so how was it preparing for your XXL freestyle? And he went, I didn't prepare for it. That's what I'm saying. I just walked in and did it.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, hip hop. Freestyle is not me, man. I just like to make music in the studio.
Right. Everybody can't freestyle though. I don't think that's like, and everybody that freestyles can't make songs.
That's
either.
a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, it's two different skills. It's interesting that they like make you do it when you think about it. Do a freestyle.
I think it's the pressure from the older hip hop generation that
I
make
don't care about
you know what I'm saying.
older.
They try to make you feel like you gotta know how to.
I don't care about how they feel.
Yeah.
I love them. I love their craft. I respect their craft. You know what I'm saying? So,
How did you prepare for the freestyle? I just gotta know.
I just didn't prepare for it at all.
He said I just didn't.
Nah, I just didn't.
You just showed up.
Yeah, I just showed up.
This next part that I'm about to show y'all is absolutely insane. And this right here solidifies what I mean about this dude not caring. Listen closely to this very next part.
You just showed up,
Yeah, I just showed up.
and you thought you was go off the head.
It's double XL. It ain't like. No, it ain't like, you know. You know what I'm talking about. It ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
This man seriously sat up here and said, I didn't prepare at all. I mean, it's XXL. It's not like it's, you know. What he wanted to really say was, bro, it's not like I'm freestyling for a BET award show or the Grammys or nothing. It's the XXL Freshman list. Don't nobody really care. So between him trashing his own freestyle and these two clips I showed y'all from Bootleg Kev and Angela Yee, these three things alone prove my point. This man does not give two shits about being an XXL Freshman. He just accepted the invite because he had nothing else to do that day. I would have rather him decline the list than to get on here and clearly show that it doesn't mean that much to him. I'm a little surprised that this person is as low as they are. I wasn't expecting their freestyle to be crazy. I thought it would be decent, but I was bored out of my mind listening to this person rap. In 8th place, I got Maiya The Don. To all of the people that say Maiya's freestyle was fire, for the people that's not giving her props, y'all just being some haters, man. She went off. She did great. No. Your lyrics only get you so far. If the way you rap has no appeal and doesn't sound good, there's not much credit I can give you. This freestyle was 2 minutes. 2 minutes and not one interesting, engaging flow throughout the entire thing. She had some good bars in her verse, but it was just drawing out for a long ass time and it just wasn't delivered in a good way. So when she did say something cold, it just felt like, Bust down rolling for hard times, I might need a few. If I ever fall off, I have a Fendi printed parachute. Bitch, I'm the biggest, not just compared to you. Hating my moods, but you praying it's you. One of the worst lines in this freestyle is when she called herself a household name. Like, baby girl, stop. Like, you just got into the game. But she was discussing the typical, I have family members who've never talked to me until I started getting money trope. And then says, imagine how her life would have turned out had she listened to the haters and such. She would have never become as big as she is. I put the star in starlets. I'm at the bar throwing pensions. I make broke hoes get defensive. But so what? I've gained a lot of cousins since I've blown up. Imagine if I listened to what they told us.
One hit wonder, 15 minutes of fame. A year later, I'm a household name. Damn.
I was focusing on the household name part, but wait a minute. Who is even calling Maiya The Don a one-hit wonder? What hit does she have? Her most popular song is Telfie, which has 2.7 million views on YouTube and 7.5 million streams on the spot. 7.5 mil is good, but that's not a hit song at all. Somebody watching this video, please let me know. What song does Maiya even have for people to be calling her a one-hit wonder? Because Conceited, that's not even her track. That's a feature on the Flo Milli track. One line that Maiya had towards the end of her verse that was really good, other than the midwife bar was nice too, but it was when she said, money talks, so be careful who I speak to. I've been planning to sit on M's like Evisu. This line is actually hard. Evisu jeans, the logo with the letter M that be on the back pockets. So when you sit down wearing Evisu jeans, you're sitting on M's. Also M's meaning sitting on $1 million, since she was just talking about getting money. It's one of the best lines in her entire freestyle, but it's at the very end. You have to sit through nearly 2 minutes of all this other shit before you get to it. Maiya had bars, but none of them were delivered in an entertaining way. Having good bars means nothing if your delivery ain't tight. Maiya did not do a bad job. Let me settle that. For the people like in her comment section saying this freestyle was ass, y'all bugging. It was not ass. But for me, this was 2 minutes of straight up boredom. In 7th place is BossMan on the Down Low. When I read Down Low's freshman interview and listened to his freestyle afterwards, there was something he said during his interview that instantly became true as I heard the freestyle. So just to put y'all on game on something real quick, y'all remember how in previous classes on YouTube, each freshman would have a freshman profile or interview where they would ask them who inspired their style, what does being a freshman mean to them, who else do they think should have been on the cover, things like that. They haven't done those interview videos since 2019, but they still have the interview in written form. So if you want to know more about the artist, you have to go all the way to their weak ass website on the webpage that talks about that year's cover, and then click on the freshman's name to come across their interview. And here is where they ask every artist those same questions. Who else you think should have been on the cover with you that year? What type of person were you in high school? Things like that. I remember reading Megan Thee Stallion's interview, and she was campaigning for Mid, talking about Asian Doll and Malibu Mitch should have been on the 2019 list. Mexican OT had the worst answer to this question this year. This man was just trying to put his homies on, saying that they should have put somebody named Drody and Boss Hog on this year's list. He was just naming his friends. Don't nobody know who these people are. Down Low had a very politically correct answer, talking about, I don't know, it's tough. No, it's talent everywhere. It's just about who grinds the hardest. Think about the people you selected. They all worked hard. There might be some people that you missed, but hey, can't get everybody. They'll have their turn next year. I read this and went, damn, pussy boy, answer the question. If you was in charge of choosing who was on this year's list, who would you pick? Damn. But the part where he was talking about what it means to be a freshman, Down Low said, I rap like I'm in somebody's face just talking to him. I don't sound like nobody in the whole class of this year. Even outside XXL, I sound different than everybody. So it's a good time right now. That very first line, I rap like I'm in somebody's face just talking to them, this is very true. And that's literally the problem with his freestyle. This freestyle has no rapping in it. It's 70 seconds of him just talking with no flow, no rhythm until the very end. But other than that, nothing happens. He's just yapping. As this was going on, I was getting so bored, bruh. It wasn't bad, just boring. The entire verse is just about chicken, rubber bands. The trap niggas winning, baby. You know we got big pockets. Made millions off of chicken talking out and skip college. 10 pointers moonwalking, baby, I got big diamonds. Fuck a vet, pull up TRX, we love big body. We ain't gonna worry about what they doing, babe, cause we on ball shit. Spent a 20 ball in Louis and left with 3 outfits. You know you the biggest, babe. Ain't nobody seeing you. Pull up white double R, interior Easter blue. That entire part I wasn't rocking with. The best part of his verse was the last several lines. Wrist game better, power play catcher, run it up crazy, apply straight pressure, pull up something fancy, neck and wrist dancing, gambling with my life, shooting dice, taking chances. I'm dog shit talking, wrist like a faucet. Y'all niggas workers, we self-made bosses, baby. That part was okay, but just like Maiya The Don, that's the very end. You gotta listen to 50 seconds of nothing before you get to that part. This man certainly needs a beat and some hibachi on the top floor for him to spit an entertaining verse, because this was pretty dry. Up next in 6th place, we have bitch Amiri. Whew, do I have something to say about this man. I'm telling you, this is why you can't trust people that are named Amiri. Guys named Amiri are some hoe ass niggas, I swear. So if you ain't heard the news somehow yet, Amiri decided not to do the cypher. Okay, whatever. We're used to people not doing a cypher at this point, unfortunately. But what makes this situation different is that Amiri didn't tell XXL that he wasn't doing the cypher. The man just disappeared out of the building. The editor-in-chief, Vanessa Staten, didn't say his name, but she revealed the shoots didn't go off without a hitch though. One freshman got so shook over the cypher that he ditched the shoot literally 5 minutes before it was going to be filmed. He pretended to go to his car for some clothing, hopped in, and got out of there. He and his team then refused to answer our or their publicist's calls. It would have been nice for them to return one call. Bitch Amiri responded to this on Twitter saying, XXL, why are y'all lying? I didn't go out for no clothes, I just walked out. I seriously don't know why he said this, as if that made the situation better. The issue is not just that you didn't do the cypher, bro. The problem is that you just suddenly left right before they was about to film, and then you proceeded to ignore them after that. Many people, including the artist Lucky, have been saying that this is partially XXL's fault, and that y'all need to change y'all format. Y'all can't be up here forcing people to rap in a group on a beat that they don't recognize or aren't familiar with. And the other side of the argument is, man, no, forget all that. You can't declare yourself as a rapper, but you can't even do a quick 15-20 second performance. And honestly, I'm in the second camp. Nobody is saying that you have to rap some lyrical miracle stuff with the greatest bars possible. Nobody is expecting that. You signed up for this, and then when it came to rapping, you got scared and left. There's no way around it, bro. You a punk. Unfortunately, he did rap once, and it was for his freestyle, where you can barely even understand what he's saying. Amiri raps like he doesn't close his mouth all the way. For those of y'all who couldn't hear him, don't worry, I speak fluent Amirinese, so I know what he said. And it was a weak flexing verse about having a push button starting car, and when I was broke, she didn't want me, but now that I got bread, she mine. I don't care about being cool. None of these rappers don't fucking they bro. I don't know nothing about the key. This is 2024. Push a button when I'm starting my car. Running through the cash like tracks on the deal for an M. And I went by the all my wall. She ain't even looking away when I was pulling. Now I'm counting at the door when I got it all up. Yeah, his voice is very, very distracting. If I didn't speak fluent Amirinese, I would be just as lost as y'all. Another thing that's unfortunate, but I will have to admit this, the more you play his freestyle, the more you get used to his melody that he uses and his voice. Keep in mind that these three people towards the bottom, like Down Low, Maiya, and Bitch, I don't think any of these three people did a good job. This is the below average group to me. It really don't matter what order you put these three people in. They're all 8 through 6, honestly.
They don't really like when I flex my arrest, but I flex my arrest because it took me so long.
I could say a few things about this kid, but I'm not about to go on too long. His interview was capped, talking about, I'm so happy to be a freshman. I'm gonna take my mama out to dinner when the cover come out. His ABC's video, he was glazing Kanye West to Chicago and back, and then used the letter D to say dedication. Talking about dedication and hard work is how you get to where you wanna go in life. You're clearly not dedicated to rapping. He talking about his inspirations are Future and Lil Keed. I didn't even need to read this interview to know that. You literally sound like, no, put that down. We have Future at home. I really can't stand this dude. One of the lamest freshmen ever, bruh. Halfway point of the list. Next, I got BigXthaPlug, the man that y'all have been calling the true XXL freshman of the class. Considering that he said in his verse, biggest stepper, when I step on shit better shake. Y'all wasn't wrong. Now, in the intro, when I said that in the trailer, I heard some mid and didn't have high hopes for some, Big X was one of those people, man. In the trailer, as soon as I heard that, 50K on my watch, 30K in my face, 60K on your head if you play do you late. Who you know up the score and put on for a state. You can hate, just don't play with my folks and you great. I went, He had some decent lines in here for sure, but the overall performance was just chill. His opening lines were good. 26 and I'm having my way, the same nigga in all 50 states. No, I'll never say, but can make a whole quick. Get some papers, come do whatever I say. Stuff like this, it's cool, but he ain't really say nothing crazy. Very ironically though, this is a good representation of his actual music. Just talking about how much money he make, no matter the state he pushing that weight. When I made my last video of my opinion on every freshman, I said that Big X is one of my favorites, but at the end of the day, his music is just fine. He becomes repetitive very quickly. That's how I felt watching this. Usually a beat and stuff would help him, but this was a cappella, so it was just fine. This is going to sound stupid, but my favorite part of his whole performance wasn't even the verse itself. It was at the very end when he did the money spread and went, hey, fuck the law, call my lawyer, bet I beat the case. If I can't call my SA, get moved out of state, hey. For some reason, that was my favorite part. Next up, we got the glizzy gobbler herself, ScarLip. As soon as ScarLip's freestyle came out, it was only 6 released at the time, including her and Lay Bankz, and people were saying, dang, how are the women going harder than the men this year? ScarLip and Lay Bankz got the best ones so far. I semi-agree with this. At the time, I was like, ScarLip does have a top 3 freestyle, but that's not saying much because half of these people didn't even do a good job. So she's up there by default. And unfortunately, that's how I feel as a whole. The only reason Scar is this high up is because a lot of people didn't do anything special. I feel the exact way about Scar's freestyle this year that I felt last year with Lola Crook's freestyle. Lola was in 4th place in my ranking last year, but hers wasn't great. The issue here is that ScarLip's freestyle felt like a trauma dumping poem. Y'all remember what I said in my video about my opinion on the Freshman, and I said whenever I heard ScarLip's name, it was never about her music. I will only hear her name in regards to the traumatic experiences she went through growing up, such as being homeless, being essayed, stuff like that. The entire verse is her talking about feeling like she's alone in the world, especially growing up as a black girl, how she feels the world is against her, how therapy couldn't help her because her therapist couldn't relate to her, losing her mother at a young age, how the rest of her family didn't believe in her dreams. All of those things led to a great freestyle lyrically, yes, but as an overall performance, I wasn't feeling it. The thing about me is that even when I don't like something, I can still admit its positives. I can put me disliking it to the side and still highlight what I think was good and strong about it. So when it comes to ScarLip, she definitely showed passion, she showed emotion, and you can feel it. But it's the fact that I just heard this last year with Lola Crook. When she was talking about growing up poor and how she's going to work hard to achieve her dreams, she ain't sucking no dick to get to the top. So hearing the same thing this year is like, why do female rappers from New York get on XXL and just cry about their upbringing all the time? I don't know if I want to give her a pass for this next thing, but she also didn't have good breath control. For a lot of lines, you can hear her do a big gasp right before talking. Where was you at when he was touching me? None of y'all was there. Where was you at when my mother died? None of y'all was there. I used to have this spark in me. You see, they took that glow in me. I kind of want to let that slide because she was doing an emotional performance, but I don't know, it was still noticeable. It would have worked if she rapped. If Scar rapped and did a good job, then it would be passable, but instead, she was just standing there sounding like she was about to break out in tears. This type of performance, although it is good lyrically and it shows the passion, like I said, it instantly kills the replay value of the verse. When I do these rankings, I rank them based off how good I think they are and how much I enjoy them. So for somebody like ScarLip, the reason why she's in 4th place is because it has no replay value to me. It's going to be very, very rare that I go back and listen to this freestyle. So for that, it's a few people I'm putting over her. At number 3, from the 313, we have Skilla Baby. Now, once again, I have to make this clear. Unfortunately, the only reason why Skilla is in the top 3 is because most of this class did not do that well. Skilla Baby did a decent job. He was decent, he was cool. But he was dang near great compared to most of these people. He had some of the best opening lines from this year for sure. Valedictorian, I'm at the top of the class. Push up in Ferrari truck, I'm at the top of the dash. My youngin' chasing down like a block off the glass. I think the labels get a lot of rappers right out the trash. Those last 2 lines were for sure nice. My youngin' chasing down like a block off the glass. Basketball, chase down block. And the second line, I think the labels get a lot of these rappers right out the trash, is facts. A lot of garbage niggas be getting signed. Y'all let me know if Skilla Baby himself is signed to a label or not, because if he is, then this would be the pot calling the kettle black. But his rap beef gunplay scheme right after was nice as hell too. Rap beef, no, hit him up, put my ops through trauma, my Draco, my K-Dot you, they gon' ask who shot you. Draco, K-Dot are both guns, Drake and K-Dot are obviously beefing, Pac and Biggie beefing, hit him up, who shot you. That was probably the best bars in his whole verse. The reason I still don't think Skilla really killed it is simply because half of his lines were just cool, basic metaphors that I've heard so many times already. New money, new problems, 2 watches, bus Prezi playing Richard Millie, everything I do, timeless. I sent my little bitch overseas, she want a new body. What the chain cost, I could've put somebody through college. But something like this is what Maiya could have benefited from. Skilla didn't have a crazy flow or nothing, he kept it simple as well. But since his was a reasonable length and wasn't a long ass 2 minutes, that alone is why he's ranked higher than her. The main set of lines I didn't like in his freestyle was the coast to coast with the Bucks. I'm like the new Giannis. I don't gotta paint my nails cause I'm too polished. It's 2024, bruh. Bucks, Giannis wordplay is so played out. That line wasn't even witty or clever. That was like, yeah man, Milwaukee Bucks, Bucks as in dollars, coast to coast such as running full court, Giannis plays for the Bucks. I've heard that many times. And then that nail polish bar was just insane. He definitely has been hanging out in those beauty salons too much. The last thing I want to say is, I gotta make this PSA real quick in this video. People really need to stop acting like these rappers are more famous than what they are. What I mean is, sometimes people go too far when a rapper gets elected as an XXL freshman and starts saying, why is this person on here? They're already very well known. They don't need this cover. A lot of the times y'all say that really doesn't be the case. Once again, shout out to Bootleg Kev, but he had Skilla on his show last year for one video, right? In this video, Kev is trying to convince Skilla that him not being picked to be a freshman was a huge miss, and he gonna say, man, if XXL picks you in 2024, it's gonna be too late at that point.
You did get snubbed on that freshman cover. I mean, should have been on there. Let's just say it here. Crazy snub.
I ain't gonna say that.
Next year, maybe.
Next year, maybe.
But next year, by then, it'll be too late.
Yeah, I understand him, though.
Saying if XXL chooses you in 2024 is gonna be too late is wild as hell. Literally a month later, Kev had him on the show again, but this time Skilla Baby was there too. And Kev brought up the exact same conversation like, yo, that's crazy that you didn't get picked for the freshman cover this year though. That's one of the biggest snubs of the year.
Crazy you didn't make the freshman cover, by the way. It was one of the wildest snubs of the year.
Yeah, XXL, man. I don't feel like it's a snub, though.
I thought it was.
I don't.
Why not?
I don't feel like I do enough.
You got one of the best albums of the year.
Enough.
This entire 5.5 minute video was Kev and Sada trying to convince Skilla, nah man, you had way too much motion this year for them to not pick you. Them niggas tripping. The thing is, Skilla didn't even agree with them. In both of these videos, Skilla kept saying, nah, I understand why they didn't pick me this year. You know, it's all good. I still got time to make an impression for next year. Now, Skilla Baby being on the 2023 list would have been nice for sure. But all this talk like XXL tripping for not picking you, that was a crazy snub. If they pick you next year, it's not even gonna matter by then. It's like, nigga, relax. Like, this is what I mean. Skilla Baby is not that fucking famous for Kev to be talking like that. I've even seen people say that about Mexican OT this year, talking about why is Mexican OT on this year's list? He's already well known and very popular. He doesn't need it. I'll be the one to say it. Skilla Baby and that Mexican OT are not that known for you people to be saying it was too late for them to be a freshman. 2024 was the perfect time for the both of them to be selected for the list. And yet there's still people out there that believe, nah man, y'all should have chosen them last year. They not freshmen no more. Like, y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all be acting like these dudes are A-list rappers and everyone already knows who they are. This year was great for the both of them. And speaking of that Mexican OT, the runner-up spot, I gotta give that spot to him. When I tell you this man be repping Texas every chance he get, I wasn't lying, man. He gonna let you know in every verse. As soon as he starts, I'm from the south side of the map, killers get killed, jackers get jacked. That Mexican OT's verse is one of the ones where the strength of it comes from the fact that he's actually rapping. His performance of his verse is why I have it so high up. Him switching his flow up multiple times in like 30 seconds was really cool. Even though one-liners was cool. I'm from a place that's called Be Careful. That was nice. All he rapped about was the South and how hoes gonna be hoes, so he couldn't blame Tammy. But everybody that's watching this video right now knows the best part of his verse was certainly the sing-songy part in the middle, where he rapped about how he be riding around on some Slaughter Gang shit, and if you ain't down to ride like that, then you can't be a part of his gang. That entire part was clean as hell. Ride with a truck full of strippers cause we gon' slide with a pole. If you ain't down to die by this shit, I can't call you my log. She say I got something to say, I say I already know. You gotta let a hoe be a hoe and just let the shit go. Am I the only person that heard this and thought he sounded like Juvenile a little bit too? You a paper chaser, you got your block on fire, remain in the G until the moment you expire, you know what it is? Man, this boy OT country as hell, and man, the easiest way to make your verse sound good is to have a melody in there. Like, that's literally a cheat code to make something sound nice. When people be catching melodies in their XXL freestyles, they can make it sound great. However, although OT was nice, I have to admit there is one person that did a better job than him. Now, very surprisingly, in first place, the best XXL freestyle of 2024, I gotta give it to Bankz. I was not expecting this freestyle to be as good as it was. When I watched this, I instantly thought, who are you and what happened to the real Bankz? The reason I thought this is because her regular music doesn't sound a damn thing like this. She most definitely pulled up the XXL and went, oh, I'm about to hit these motherfuckers with something they don't expect from me. They ain't gonna see it coming.
Now they honor me.
This girl spent her entire verse speaking on personal demons, how she's overwhelmed emotionally, that she doesn't want to speak to her own mother, how she sometimes withholds her emotional battles and doesn't speak on them because she doesn't want to come off as whiny. And overall, how with all the pressure she faces in her life, she's going to make it through all of her hardships. And if she doesn't make it through, at least she can say she tried her hardest. Now, granted, I just said this earlier, we just got this type of freestyle last year from Lola Crook, and then this year from ScarLip as well, in terms of the personable factor and rapping about battles that you fought and talking about how far you came with music, all of that. Lola, ScarLip, and Lay pretty much all rapped about the same thing. What makes Lay Bankz better than those other two for me is that Lay was rapping her verse, and she did a good job at it. Lay had a flow switch like after every few lines, just jumping in a different pocket of rhythm every several seconds. Lately, it's been a lot on my mind, fighting battles internal inside, like it be some days I can't talk to my mom, cause I'm dealing with so many feelings and really I'm feeling like I shouldn't whine. That was one flow right there. A few seconds later, at least I tried to make it out. At least I tried to be someone. At least I tried to fight my doubts. At least I gave this shit my all. That was another one. She even used the Kaisenat bust down Rolly Avalanche flow. Yeah, I said it, Kaisenat. That whole part where she rapped, bad grades now they honor me, city hated me now they all proud of me, and the music kept a smile on me, but the industry fake, they lied to me. To me, that sounded like
bust down Rolly Avalanche, yeah my old bitch average, this my first time rapping it.
This whole freestyle is, bro, I'm impressed, but on some real stuff, it comes off like she's impersonating somebody else because this is not her regular style whatsoever. It was the very same way for the 2020 freshman class. If y'all remember Jack Harlow's freestyle, I still think 4 years later that Jack Harlow had like a top 3 freestyle that year, but I also still think 4 years later that what he was rapping about didn't seem right coming from him. Jack got up here rapping about the riots, police brutality, how men will have children right before leaving for the military, and so that kid now has the risk of never seeing his father if something happens to him in war. And every time I listen to Jack Harlow's XXL freestyle, I'm like, this is dope and all, but why are you rapping about this? That's how I feel with Bankz too. It's a really good verse. It's probably top 3 female verses ever in XXL history, but it just feels weird coming from her. Like, come on now, if you just play her most recent project, After 7, that album alone, you'll see what I mean. That album has 15 songs and not a single one of those 15 songs sound anything like her XXL freestyle. She has a song on there called On My Soul, which by the name you would think is something serious, but no, you would be sadly mistaken. The whole thing is about how she's a bad bitch thumbing through the hundreds, getting her own bread, doing her own thing, and on my soul, I don't care what a hating bitch got to say about me.
You know I don't give a goddamn fuck. On my soul.
It's obnoxious as hell, but that's the typical Lay Bankz. Not all this hooting and hollering about how hard her life is. This freestyle was fire, but I gotta keep it real. I'm impressed that this came from her, but I'm more so confused than impressed since this is so far-fetched of a topic for her to rap about. Someone in the comments said she should put this in her music more often because this is better than 102% of her actual music. I instantly laughed and agreed with this. This comment was super facts, on my soul.